Hey, welcome to Nerd Chapel. I know I haven't been very active here on YouTube for the last few years. That's okay. Did you know the first YouTube videos came up in 2013? That same year, the first blog started for Nerd Chapel. I started attending cons more, and I started a process. So then in 2015, this came out. But all that to say, this summer, Nerd Chapel gets to celebrate 10 years. And I realized I really need to be doing more. So this year, what I am doing is I'm going to be going through this. I'll just be reading an entry from here every week. It's a 42 entry book. That's 42, Discovering Faith Through Fandom. And we'll be looking at Jesus and that scripture together using references to some awesome nerdy things. So why don't you join me? Today's entry comes from my co-author, Nathan. He also has written a lot of fiction works. So make sure you look up nathanmarchand.com. Check out his fiction works. And yeah, let's get started with day one. Day one, the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, by Nathan Marchand. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil. Ecclesiastes 12:13-14. In one chapter of the classic book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams satirizes the search for the meaning of life. An ancient race constructs a massive supercomputer, and the second best in the universe, named Deep Thought, to tell them what it is. Unfortunately, Deep Thought has to think about it. How long? 7.5 million years. And you thought Windows ME was slow. So, after that, race waits in eager anticipation. All right, said Deep Thought. The answer to the great question, yes, of life, the universe, and everything, said Deep Thought. Yes, is, said Deep Thought, and paused. Yes, 42. A few minutes later, after some angry questioning, Deep Thought added, once you know what the question actually is, you'll know what the answer means. Many of you reading this book already know the question and have been waiting for what seems like 7.5 million years searching for your own answer. Or you may have even believed you found it. Perhaps you've read much on religion and philosophy. We nerds do love to read. Perhaps you've lost yourself in your hobbies, cosplay, LARPing, comics, etc., hoping they would bring you fulfillment, but you still feel empty. I'm here to tell you there is an answer, capital A. And you don't need to build the second greatest supercomputer in the universe to find it. Strangely enough, even Douglas Adams, a devout atheist, hinted at the answer in the prologue of the same book. And then, one Thursday, nearly 2,000 years after one man had been nailed to a tree for saying how great it would be to be nice to people for a change. Yes, true believers, as Stan Lee would say, the answer is Jesus Christ. But Deep Thought's answer of 42 won't be ignored. Later in that book, some characters theorized what the question might be, with suggestions like, how many paths might a young man walk? In your case, perhaps it could be, how many days will it take me to learn the truth? That's why this devotional is 42 days long. Or in the case of our videos, 42 weeks long. Like the famous guide, we're here to tell you, don't panic. Think of that as the nerd equivalent of the Bible's oft-quoted phrase, fear not. Eric and I are lifelong nerds, and we believe that truth with a capital T can be found in all nerds and geeks' favorite hobbies and stories. You just have to look hard enough. Perhaps that's why many of us bury ourselves in them, We're trying to find that elusive truth with a capital T. The 42-day journey you are about to undertake will be a harrowing but exciting one that will change you forever, whether you're seeking truth or want to deepen your faith. Don't forget your towel. Now, quest of the day. Each entry has a quest of the day, or quest of the week in this case. Number 1, read Ecclesiastes 12. Okay. Number 2, in what ways have you tried to answer the question in your own life? List them. How did they not satisfy? So I'd encourage you to think about that question, to read Ecclesiastes 12, and maybe put a comment down below. Don't be afraid to hit the subscribe. I'm not a scary person. I just happen to talk a lot about both Jesus and really cool nerdy things. So that's what we'll be doing. You can also find Nerd Chapel on Instagram, Facebook, and I've got a Patreon. So if you're like, hey, this is pretty cool stuff, and you want to support my convention ministries, find my Patreon. My convention ministries include setting up tables and making my devotional books available for people to purchase. It's simply being a presence, a very gentle presence for Jesus. And sometimes, in rare cases, I get to organize and do church services at conventions. So, yeah, find Nerd Chapel on, Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, hope you're having a great day. Oh, and before I forget, this summer we will be having a celebration for 10 years. More details on that to come, but the weekend of June 24th. Keep that kind of sealed away, okay? All right, bye-bye.